Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another Transformers review. This is the last of my Reveal the Shield Transformers Legends figures, and we saved the best for last. It's Megatron. Alright, so this is the last of my Reveal the Shield Legends reviews. Finally got through the whole set here. We started off with Optimus Prime, so we're going to finish it with Megatron. Megatron, again, fan favorite. He's been a favorite of mine. I've got a few Megatrons laying around. I've got a G1 Megatron. I've got a knockoff Megatron from G1. I've got, man, I think I've got the Robots in Disguise Megatron. I don't think I have the Armada Megatron, any of those. The G2 Megatron is actually one of my favorite figures. Transformers animated. He's been in the Bayformers. I mean, this guy's been everywhere, from G1, Frank Welker's interpretation of Megatron, to the movies, Michael Bay films. I mean, it's not Transformers when you don't have Optimus Prime and Megatron. Even in Beast Wars, we get a Megatron, and it's not the Megatron, it's his namesake. He's named himself after Megatron, which is kind of nice because here later in the comics and in Transformers Prime, we find out that Megatron named himself after Megatronus, the one of the original Primes, which is very cool. So Beast Wars Megatron, who's a very big favorite of mine, just, you know, very snarky and very regal, and he just thinks he should be the ruler. And of course, all Megatrons, it seems, believe they should be the ruler. And I've always liked this character and the fact that in G1 he was very ruthless. He was the epitome of the bad guy from the 80s. But what I liked about him best was on his little bio. His slogan is "Peace through Tyranny." He wants to rule Cybertron. And he'll get there by any means necessary through a violent, bloody civil war. But once he's in control, everything will be at peace. So he's got kind of a weird, demented mentality of what he's going to do and how he's going to do it to gain that control. So very awesome, very cool. Of course, he ends up becoming Galvatron in the G1 cartoon series, and eventually through the Japanese series. And there's a comic that goes on after Victory, I believe, where they introduce Super Megatron, I believe it is. And he only appears in like some manga comics, and I think that's the last that we see of Megatron from the G1 continuity. Then, of course, Beast Wars, Beast Machines. We have the David K. Megatron, which is fantastic, and the G2 figure. Talk about that, kind of back up a little bit. Actually, one of my favorite figures. He's, you know, the big green tank with the camouflage. He's just a nice, big, bulky Megatron, and I really liked that figure. I thought he was very cool. I've got him standing up next to my Power Master Optimus Prime. Nice figure, very cool figure. Didn't like it when it first came out, but now looking back, I really kind of like that figure. So I've been collecting more G2 toys because of it. And of course, they did a great job with him in Transformers Animated. He was a great Megatron. I liked how he was the big bad at the end of the first season, and he was voiced by Corey Burton, I believe, right? And Transformers Animated, who did a fantastic job. He kind of had that regalness that Beast Wars Megatron had, but also that kind of sternness that Frank Welker. Of course, Corey Burton worked with Frank Welker for a long, long time on G1. And now we have him in Transformers Prime cartoon series, which Frank is back doing the voice, which he's, you know, doing a good job. It's a little different Megatron. It's a bit more evil sounding, I think. It's not as raspy as the first G1 Megatron, but it works. I like it. And he even said he was going to do it a little different, and I think, honestly, I think it's because he can't really do the original voice anymore because Frank's getting a little older. And Optimus Prime even sounds a little different than he does from the old G1 show. So we had him in the Bayformer movies. Of course, he's played by Hugo Weaving, and that was a good another. I like the elegant, regal, sophisticated sounding Megatrons. Those are very nice. If Frank ever stops doing Megatron or passes away, I think that should be the way to go. And the future is definitely that nice, regal, iron-fisted style of Megatron. So we all love him. He's our favorite bad guy in the Transformer series. So let's take a look at his toy and wrap up this Reveal the Shield Legends series. All right, so here we go. The big baddie of them all, Megatron. So here's Megatron Legend Class Robot Mode. Very cool looking figure. Like him a lot. He looks a lot like the Gen 1 Megatron. Obviously, that's what they were going for. Unfortunately, we've got the orange tip on this figure here in the US, and it's just painted on there. I might try to see if I can get that yellow orange paint off. I'm sure they just painted over that gray. It's a United States thing. All of our toy guns have to have that orange cap on it because some cop in the 80s thought a kid with a Megatron gun was a real gun. So I don't know how someone would think a gun this small would be real and that it needs a cap, or maybe they just did it to, make a joke of it. I don't know. Probably not, though. It's probably some stupid U.S. regulation. What I really like about this figure, two things. One, this chest piece here reminds me a lot of animated Megatron. For some reason, that just really reminds me of that character. He's very big. He's very bulky. He's got his shell helmet on. It's kind of German Nazi-looking helmet. He's got a little snarl on his face. And the other nice thing about this figure is there's very little kibble on it. I mean, he looks like a robot all around. The only thing that is really hollow are the backs of his legs here. I mean, the backside of him is perfectly great. Love it. I think he looks very nice in robot mode. No articulation in the arms. This one's kind of stuck there a bit. He's got ball joints at his knees, and that's really about it. Looking at his card, he is also a level 2 Transformer Legends class. We got his instructions and everything's there. His strength is 10, yes. Intelligence 10, yes. Speed 10, absolutely not. I don't know how a gun could be a 10. That's just ridiculous. His endurance is a 10, yes. Rank is a 10, yes. Courage a 9, sure. Fire Blast 10, yes, and a skill of a 9. So he's pretty much maxed out. I totally disagree with the 10 on speed. Should not be anywhere near that quick. So let's take a look at him. Oh, one thing I want to point out, and I'll show this. I'll compare this when I transform it. The picture of this gun is wrong. This is a mirror image of what the actual figure is. So I'll show you that when I get him into the gun mode. I thought that was kind of interesting. So let's take a look at old Megs here in gun mode. Okay, so here we have Megatron in gun mode. Very cool. He kind of reminds me of, was it Browning? The G2 figure, or Beast Wars 2 Neo. There was a Japanese figure that was given to a character named Meg. She is a female character that gave a small Walter, and he was brown. I think he was called Browning, and he pretty much looked like this toy. Transforms a lot like him too. So here he is. Looks pretty good. Now there's a serial number on the figure, and he's kind of, let's see if I can put it there. It says 03061. I'm not sure if that's meant for the gun or if it's just a model number of the figure itself. I'm not really sure. But there, he looks pretty good. Like him. If we spin him around, we do see, this is the unfortunate bit, we do see his chest piece still sitting there. And this is what I wanted to compare here. See how it's a mirror image? The gun's pointing the opposite direction than the gun, with the piece there. And if I spin this around to match the direction that the guns would be facing, and it's totally different. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Why they used a mirror image on the back there, I'm not really sure, but there it is. So there's Megatron. Glad he's back in classic gun mode. I would like to see maybe a Generations version of this a little bit bigger, a little bit more articulate, but nonetheless, well-made figure, very good Legends figure, and I think he's pretty darn awesome to wrap up my Legends class reviews. So thanks for watching, guys. I've got a lot more reviews coming. I've got more stuff from Reveal the Shield. I've got a couple Dark of the Moon figures I'm going to take a look at. I think I'm going to do a Blast to the Past with an animated figure. And I've also got some third-party stuff that I'm going to start reviewing, as well as some Transformers Prime figures, obviously. So thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for more videos.